Welcome to the channel. Welcome to Banter in the Box. Unusually stable. It's the game week 3 review. One manager went into the transfer market in game week 3, and that was none other than Legends 23 manager Keith Simons. The reason I mention it, Keith has now made 3 transfers already this season, 3 game weeks, 1 transfer in every week as he tries to arrest his alarmingly poor start to the season. And Keith made Family Fantasy Football League history this week. He became the first manager ever to spend £26 million on a single player when he transferred in Newcastle United's new 6'6" German forward, Nick Waltermaid. Will it turn his poor season around? Time will tell. It's that annoying part of the season. We get very excited about the start of the new Premier League season, and then we stop for an annoying international break, which means this is your last Banter in the Box for 2 weeks. And in this edition of Banter in the Box, we've got your game week 3 winners and losers. The reason the title of this video is unusually stable is because in the early weeks of the season, we normally see lots of positional changes in the table, people flying up and down the table. But for some reason, that hasn't happened this season. In game week 2, the top 8 remained unchanged. And in game week 3, the top 9 remained unchanged, which means it's getting difficult picking out anyone who's had really good weeks or really bad weeks. So we've only got 2 game week 3 winners and 2 game week 3 losers. We've got another entry on the wall of shame that I'll be sharing with you. Predictor challenge. I'll be revealing everyone's predictions for this season. I say everyone's. Disappointingly, 20 managers in the Family Fantasy Football League. Only 7 took up the predictor challenge, but hopefully when I share those predictions, it'll start the banter going. It's been way too quiet on the banter front. And I gave Megan 5 manager of the season points for being the only manager that met the deadline for getting the predictions in. But because only 7 managers joined, I decided to give everyone that took part in the predictor challenge a manager of the season point just for getting involved. We got your cup preview. When we return after the international break, we will have your first Family Fantasy Football League Cup group stage matches. I'll be reviewing those fixtures, and there are some really good ties in that opening game week 1 of the Family Fantasy Football League Cup. We got the player review and a manager of the season update. 4 managers had a go at who the fuck is that this week. I can't remember the last time as many as 4 managers had a go, which is great. Did anyone get it right? All will be revealed. So your game week 3 winners, take a bow. Error 404 manager Nicky Lee. The biggest climbers in game week 3, admittedly only rising 2 places to 10th. A personal highest weekly total for Nicky, and 10th is the highest that Nicky's been since the 19th of January 2024. And a good start to the season is made even sweeter by the fact that her husband Stephen is rock bottom of the table. But the biggest game week 3 winner was the big Boster Cogless manager Niall Ponsford. Stayed 7th, but did get a first weekly win of the season with 46 points. 1 manager of the season point each for those 2. Your game week 3 losers, hang your head in shame. Ostrich Bar Stewards manager Steve Maloney, the biggest fallers in game week 3, down 2 places to 13th. You have to go back to the end of the 2023-2024 season when Steve finished second from bottom for the last time that Steve has been as low as 13th in the table. But the biggest game week 3 loser, I've Got a Life manager Mops Hoxby, fell another place down to 18th and was the lowest scorers in game week 3 with just 17 points. Both of those guys lose a manager of the season point. Wall of Shame, where we already knew Benny United manager Mark Benwell, who's on there every year, was on there. Di Maloney was on there. Niall Ponsford was on there. And Ryan Perrin was on there, all for submitting invalid teams. And we got a new entry this week. Gobi Desert Canoe Club manager Pops Hawksby tried to make a transfer, but it would have left his team with an invalid 3-6-1 formation. So Pops makes the Wall of Shame and loses a manager of the season point. Predictor challenge. Well, here they are. And there's a theme running through it. 3 managers predicting Greece Lightning is going to win a 4th Family Fantasy Football League title and retain their title from last season. But 3 managers believing the Creed Bratton Society is going to wrestle it back. And Niall Ponsford is confident. He's predicting that he is going to win his first ever Family Fantasy Football League title. Lots of people thinking that the top 2 ranked managers in the league, Greece Lightning and the Creed Bratton Society, are going to be up there. Sarah Goodwin, not quite as ambitious as Niall Ponsford. She's predicted herself to finish runner-up. Couple of managers going for league leaders Rayleigh Rovers to get 3rd in the league. 3 managers going for the Creed Bratton Society to win a record 4th Family Fantasy Football League Cup and retain the cup that he won last year. Big Postacoglis has got a shout for the cup. Greece Lightning, Simon Hoxby thinks that Greece Lightning's going to do the league and cup double. That hasn't been done for a while. Sarah's got Legends 23 for the cup. Mops has got the Musketeers for the cup. The one I love, the Wooden Spoon, lowest ranked manager in the league, Norfolk and Chance FC, who's not had a bad start to the season in 16th. She's got one prediction. Mark Benwell's going Legends 23, who has had a poor start to the season. He thinks he's going to win the Wooden Spoon. 2 managers have gone for Anders FC to win the Wooden Spoon. He has won it before. Simon's gone for the Willow Tree Winners to win the Wooden Spoon. She has had a bad start to the season. Mops Hawksby is really down on herself. She's predicting that she's going to win the Wooden Spoon. And Niall Ponsford trying to ramp up the banter by predicting Masters of None to win the Wooden Spoon. And then, unsurprisingly, Niall Ponsford didn't have a guess on who was going to be the manager of the season. 5 managers think that Sarah Goodwin is going to get the manager of the season. If she does, it will be a record 3rd manager of the season. No one's ever done that before. Mops Hawksby thinks Alexi's going to be the manager of the season. I doubt it, Mum. He never really gets involved in the who the fuck is that. But there are other ways to get manager of the season points. So anyway, every prediction you get right will be 5 manager of the season points, which means if you get all 6 right, that's 30 manager of the season points at the end of the season. And then I thought to myself, hang on a minute. I've asked people to predict the manager of the season winner, and they'll get 5 manager of the season points if they get that right. But at what point do I apply those points? Because if you get 5 manager of the season points for getting the manager of the season right at that point, but then that makes you the manager of the season, then do you lose those points? So what I've decided to do is I'll apply the manager of the season points at the end of the season. So whoever is top of the manager of the season table, then if the prediction marries to what you've guessed, you will get the 5 manager of the season points for getting that right. And if that then elevates you to be manager of the season, then so be it. Anyway, got any thoughts on any of those predictions? Share them in the Family Fantasy Football League Facebook group. Let's get the banter started. FFFL Cup preview. We have 4 groups of 5 in the Family Fantasy Football League Cup, and the first full Premier League fixture weekend in September will be when those first round of group matches take place. Group 1 sees ED11 in 10th playing Masters of None in 8th. Ryan's had a good start to the season, especially by his standards, and I'm predicting that Ryan is going to beat Masters of None. And then we've got the Creed Bratton Society bidding to defend his Family Fantasy Football League Cup title. He's 3rd in the table. He goes up against no happy endings in 11th. I'm predicting a win for the Creed Bratton Society. Group 2 sees 4th place Benny United playing 5th place Greece Lightning. I think this is going to be really close. But you know what? I'm predicting Benny United to edge this one. And the other game in Group 2 sees Nicky Lee's Error 404, 10th in the table, taking on I've Got a Life, who are 18th in the league. I think this is going to be an easy win for Nicky Lee. Group 3 sees 9th placed the Musketeers playing 13th placed Ostrich Bar Stewards. Ostrich Bar Stewards in bad form. This is going to be a win for the Musketeers. And 17th place, the Willow Tree Winners are up against 15th placed Gobi Desert Canoe Club. I'm predicting a narrow win for Gobi Desert Canoe Club. In Group 4, Dimmy's Dynamos, 6th in the table. Great start to the season for Megan, playing the Big Boster Cogless, who are 7th. I think the Big Boster Cogless, going into the tie in form, are going to win this one. And then 2nd place, Clockhouse Rangers, are facing top of the table Rayleigh Rovers. It's a top of the table clash in the Family Fantasy Football League Cup. And I think this is going to go to Rayleigh Rovers. If you cannot see your name on that list of cup matches, fear not. You haven't been weirdly eliminated. It's because we've got 4 groups of 5, so there are always going to be an odd team in each group that don't play a game each game week. But by the end of the 4 rounds of cup matches in the group stage, everyone would have played. The team that finishes top of each group will go straight through to the quarterfinals of the Family Fantasy Football League Cup, and the team that finished 2nd and 3rd in each group will go into a playoff to reach the quarterfinals, and the team that finished 4th and 5th in each group will be eliminated. Player review. Here are your top goalkeepers. Robert Sanchez is still leading the way, 43 points, highest scoring goalkeeper. 4 managers selected him. Only 1 manager went for Dean Henderson, who's having a great start to the season. Vicario is an interesting choice. Only £6 million. Tottenham are in the Champions League. No one has selected him yet, and he's currently the 3rd highest goal scorer. Petrovic of Bournemouth has had a good season. He's still available for selection. I say still available for selection. Obviously, if you want to spend £5 million on an Oi's Mind tactical gambit, you can buy a player that already belongs to another team in the Family Fantasy Football League. Petrovic isn't cheap at 11 million. Nick Pope of Newcastle is only £6 million and is available for selection again in the Champions League. Sunderland keeper has had a surprisingly good start to the season, but his top end at 11 million. And then you've got Perry of Leeds. Again, surprisingly good start to the season, but top end budget-wise at 11 million pounds. Top defenders dominated by Chelsea, who were in the World Club Cup, so picked up those points. But the high scoring defender, Cucurella, not cheap at 14 million. No one's gone for him yet. He's the highest scoring defender at the moment. Mark Gay at Crystal Palace, again, not cheap at 13 million. No one's picked him yet, the 4th highest scoring defender. His Crystal Palace teammates Munoz and Lacroix, not cheap, but no one's selected them yet. And Adarabioyo, £10 million, not cheap, but no one's picked him yet, 28 points already. And Jeremy Timber of Arsenal hasn't been selected yet, £12 million. There's not really any bargains there in the defender stakes, but there are some high-scoring players that are available for transfer. Top midfielders, still dominated by Chelsea. Fernandes leading the way, 48 points, highest-scoring midfielder. Got 10 points this week. 2 managers have gone for him. Ismail Sarr of Crystal Palace is 9 million. That's not a bad price. 33 points already, and no one selected him. Caicedo of Chelsea as well, 7 million. That's a bargain. No one's picked him up yet. And Rinders of Man City is still available for selection, although that will cost you top end £18 million. Adam Wharton of Crystal Palace, 4 managers have gone for him. That's a good pick at only 3 million. He's doing very well. And top strikers, well, unsurprisingly, Erling Haaland is the highest scoring striker. 9 managers have gone for him. Great pick from Rayleigh Rovers manager Simon Hoxby, only manager who went for João Pedro. 14 million is cheap for a striker, and he's already got 32 points. Mateta of Palace is having a good season, 20 million, not cheap, but he's available. Ekitike of Liverpool, great season, but again, top end at 25 million, but he's available. Thiago of Brentford was a great pick, £2 million. That's really cheap. 17 points already. 2 managers went for him. Richarlison of Spurs is a bargain, £6 million. Nobody's gone for him yet. 1 manager went for Anthony of Burnley. Great pick. Real bargain at 1 million. 14 points already. And then you've got Arsenal's new striker, Gyökeres. Going to cost you 25 million. No one's taken a punt on him yet, but he's had a fairly good start to the season. That's your player review. Who the fuck is that? It's rolled over for a 3rd week. It was worth 2 manager of the season points if you could tell me which Family Fantasy Football League manager was pictured there, and if you could tell me the body part, you would get a bonus point, but you don't get the bonus point unless you get the manager right. We've already established it's not an arm. Telling me an arm is an incorrect answer. 4 managers had a guess this week. Rayleigh Rovers manager Simon Hoxby and I've Got a Life manager Mops Hoxby both thought that was a picture of Masters of None manager Jack Hoxby's leg. That was an incorrect guess. Sarah Goodwin thought that was a picture of my foot. We already established last week, Sarah, that it wasn't a picture of me, so that was a bit of a wasted guess. And Benny United manager Mark Benwell thought that was a picture of Clockhouse Rangers manager great Uncle George Moody's head. That is an incorrect answer, Mark. It's not a picture of George, Jack, or me. So the manager of the season table is looking like this, the top half anyway. Niall Ponsford has gone joint 6th for being a game week 1 winner and taking part in the Predictor Challenge, meant he got 2 points this week. Simon Hoxby, Nicola Lee, and Mark Benwell all go clear joint 3rd for taking, well, Mark and Simon for taking part in the Predictor Challenge, Nicky Lee for being a game week 3 winner, and Sarah Goodwin extends her lead at the top to 3 points just for taking part in the Predictor Challenge. There she is with the Manager of the Season trophy, which also got a £20 million in free tactical gambits. She's bidding to become the first manager ever to win 3 Manager of the Season crowns, and she would have done it. If she does it, it would be for a 3rd consecutive season. Can you stop her? Well, Banter in the Family Fantasy Football League Facebook group is one way, but also if you can tell me which current Family Fantasy Football League manager is pictured there, you will pick up 3 Manager of the Season points, and if you can tell me which body part, you will get a bonus point. So a possible 4 Manager of the Season points on offer. Only one guess between now and the next Banter in the Box video, which will be 2 weeks away because of the international break. And that is it for your Game Week 3 review. The Family Fantasy Football League Presentation Awards date is secure. If you are a member of the Family Fantasy Football League Facebook group, you would have been invited to the event on the Facebook group. So please indicate on that whether you are attending or not. We kick off at 1 p.m. Venue TBC, which basically means if anyone wants to host it, they're more than welcome. But if no one comes forward, we will have it at Family Fantasy Football League HQ, which is a new stadia. So a new venue. But that's it. Enjoy the international break, and I will see you in 2 weeks. Until then, everybody, take care.